Hello everyone, my name is Ivan, and today we'll be diving into the finances of being a train driver in the Valley. From dealing with damages made to your borrowed equipment, acquiring new job and locomotive licenses, and insurance to help protect your wallet from angry cargo shippers, we'll discuss it all and more on this 5th episode of Overhauled, in depth. Let's get started. As we mentioned in the first episode, one of the major goals with Overhauled was to improve gameplay. Revamping the game economy and making decision-making more involved was a big part of that. If you've been saving to buy a license for that shiny new DE6 locomotive, but accidentally wrecked $1 million worth of cargo along the way, now you'll catch yourself thinking what to do next to resolve this new situation. To pay it off, you'll have to take on new jobs and challenges, staying occupied. In pursuit for the money to advance your career as soon as possible, you might at some point try to push the limits too hard. In search of that perfect balance, you'll inevitably make some mistakes. But don't worry, that's part of the fun of being a train driver in Derail Valley. Bringing all career interactions to a single place, at every station office you'll find a new machine next to the job validator, called the Career Manager. This will serve as your go-to browser for both the licenses you'll need to progress your career in the Valley, as well as any accrued fees, creating that all-too-needed paperwork we all love. Let's talk about fees first. You can get fees either for locomotives or for job consists. As you drive a locomotive, it will consume fuel, oil, sand, and can acquire minor engine and wheel damage. It'll also spew out nasty emissions, and can suffer heavy damage if crashed. All these locomotive stats no longer magically replenish upon restarting the game. This time around, you'll need to pay for them, encouraging you to be more conscious of how efficiently and safely you're driving. If you repair a locomotive yourself at the service center, you can save a lot of money. You see, paying the fee at the Career Manager will also have a locomotive automatically refueled and repaired, but at double the price. What this means is that abandoning a locomotive you've only used for a few minutes to help you out is no issue. You'll just pay a fee of a couple $100 and be on your way. However, if you drove a locomotive for many miles where the diesel cost alone will be in the thousands, you'll want to personally service the locomotive and avoid doubling the price. Fees can also come bound to jobs. These involve damage made to cars and cargo that were part of those jobs, and are listed at the back pages of job reports. Damage to jobs can come from collisions, like from kicking cars too hard, or from launching the whole train off a bridge, engulfed in flames. Damage can range from insignificant to extreme, depending really only on actual physical interactions between vehicles and their surroundings. All vehicles and cargo have different strengths and tolerances, and some will be more fragile than others. For a quick glance at any vehicle status, you can see its body and cargo health listed on the side info placard. Unlike locomotives, job fees cannot be manually repaired. However, they can still be mitigated. By re-railing a damaged train and completing the job nevertheless, you'll get paid the agreed amount, and this can sometimes be worth the effort. For a precise listing of damage and resources, you can select any fee on the Career Manager and press the Print button to spit out a booklet with more information about that fee, broken down into an itemized list of costs. Apart from mechanical damage and resources, the booklet also includes a breakdown for environmental damage that can be caused by derailing trains carrying hazardous materials, something which is certainly frowned upon. Poor squirrel. As you can imagine, fees don't expire, even after the affected locomotives or jobs have despawned. Now, let's talk about licensing. You'll see many of the bigger and higher paying jobs offered in stations, but will be unable to take them without the correct license. Similarly, as before Overhauled, licenses range from things like what kinds of cargo you can take and how many jobs you can do at one time, to what kind of locomotives you can operate. Every license has a cost to it, and it also affects your time bonus deadline and insurance, but more on that later. Most of the job licenses now have multiple tiers, such as Hazmat License 1, 2, and 3, which have to be purchased in sequence. Each license purchased will print out a lovely certificate, which is sure to bring a sense of pride and accomplishment. These licenses aren't like your driver's license. You don't need to keep them in your pocket. You can safely store them anywhere, a station office, the cargo ship, or even your house. You may wonder why you would want to pay any fees at all when you could simply spend all your money on just the licenses to beat the game. Here's the catch. You're required to clear all of your fees before being able to buy new licenses. Wait, you don't have $1 million to pay off the pending fee from that load of ANFO you detonated near the farm? Worry not. This is where the all-new insurance mechanic kicks in. When you access the Fees menu on your Career Manager, you'll see a certain value that represents your co-payment amount, or copay for short. This is how much you'll actually need to pay. The rest of your fees will be covered by the railway insurance company. The copay will start as low as a few $1,000s, so even if you made millions worth of damage, you'll only need to pay those few $1,000s at start. However, with every license you buy, the copay will increase a certain amount as described on the certificate. The system of fees, licenses, and insurance is set up in such a way that at the start of the game, you can make silly mistakes, blow things up, and get a feel for the train's limits and overall behavior. However, the further you invest yourself in your career, you'll find yourself growingly taking care of Derail Valley property, respecting your cargo, safety protocols, and the environment. All the fees you pay count towards your copay goal. Once you fill up the bar, all of your fees and the copay will be reset to zero, so it is always possible to get a clean slate. Of course, not everyone's skills are of the same level, so we've included 3 difficulty settings that basically determine how much the jobs pay, including casual, normal, and hardcore. Our testing showed it can take over 50 hours of playtime to acquire all of the licenses, depending on playstyle, which is a massive jump from the previous 2 hours. If you'd like to support our work, you can now buy our new soundtrack on Steam. It features the music we made for the Derail Valley trailers, as well as some extra tracks, and can be had for $9.99. All revenue from it goes directly to further development of Derail Valley. Derail Valley itself is available too on Steam and the Oculus Store, and you can pre-purchase it now while waiting for the update. We'll also be doing a giveaway of a limited number of Derail Valley Steam keys. For more details on how to be included, see the link in the description. That's all for today's episode. On the next and final episode of Overhauled In Depth, we'll discuss what you've all been waiting for: jobs, new cargo types, and things that go boom. For now, drive safe, and we'll see you in the valley.